game starts recording.
And then OBS will crash. So excited.
Cool. All right, so we are going to play some Crucible of Aether.
Yay.
And so I'm Nick, I'm GMing. I'll go around my regular top left is Craig.
I'm Craig.
Hey. All right. Dash. All right, bottom right is Steve.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm Steve. Stephen. Hello.
Cool. Right, so I'm just going to read through this first bit of blurb.
Blurb.
The intro.
We love blurb.
Blurb.
Blurb me up.
Yeah, little bit of blurb, and then we'll just. So Dawn has just touched the sea of songs. That means the time, not a woman. The ocean ringed by the various nations.
You cracked me up already. 1
Come
second
on,
in.
pull it together, Steve. Pull it together.
Okay. I'm fine.
Grey-green waves of this late spring morning, echoes of last night's storm, lap at the hull of the ship that carried you all. Ship, the Sea Crow, is none the worse for wear though. Her builders, the raven-like Aether. Apologies for butchering all these pronunciations of all these races and people. Meant her for the open sea, for trade and conquest. The noble clans who control Aether society ply these waters on a mission from the imperial throne, catch those dodging tariffs, bring them to justice, and take the spoils. The ship carries you all between the islands off of the swamp-filled nation of Busos, the Tanuki-like folk who call this place home the Nictriu, which are like raccoon people. That's their cool. Keep their vessels as far from this symbol of the empire as they can manage. They flit between sandbars and among the mangroves, using decades of knowledge about these islands to duck imperial authority. It's that very knowledge that has given imperials so much trouble. Smugglers have used these swamps and islands to dodge all manner of government authority for the last 2 centuries. That didn't change much when the empire took over Busos. Authorities have spent the last 20 years making little progress. Frustrated with the state of affairs, Empress Loretta Pendry V hired one of the Aether clans, the Sanhet, to bring the long reach of the empire to this obscure place. The clan has not had much luck though, and recently enacted a blockade on their base on the island of Illgriffe. To keep the operations running, the Sanhet cast a wide net for extra hands. That's where you come in. You all carry letters of hire that read the following. And then if you look on alchemy in handouts, share with everybody, and maybe you'll have to refresh, or maybe it'll crash or whatever. There's a thing in handouts that says charter, and that should show you the letter that you've all got.
Is self the bearer of this letter?
Yeah, it does, yeah. So maybe somebody else wants to read a bit of that. This is 3 paragraphs. Let's do a paragraph each, because you've all got the same letter. Save me reading everything. And if it's hard to read on the top picture, you can just go down, and I've just typed it down there. Well then, Craig, you can read a bit first.
Sure. The bearer of this letter may present themselves to Clan Bearer Isra Sanhet at the port of Yovgorod on the island of Illgriffe.
Well then, Craig.
Well, again.
Go on then, Dash.
Okay.
Oh.
The grace of Her Imperial Majesty Empress Loretta Pendry of Clan Sanhed has been granted charter to collect tariff and tax in the trade along the coast of Busos.
Last bit, Steve.
Under authority of the crown, you shall obey Clan Bearer Yisra, Sanhet's directives in all and sundry tasks, that she shall set before you. In furtherance of these duties, you shall be provided with quarters, board, and stipend of 10 pend per week.
Cockney pound. 10 pound.
I don't think I could do that voyage forever. I'm going to have to work on an accent.
£10 a week. All right. Okay. So you shipped out together on the Sea Crow a week ago, bound for Illgriffe and the job. It's work, a rare enough thing to find these days. The pay is low and the duties are vague. You could be stuck in a warehouse or fighting pirates for all you know. The locals aren't exactly friendly to the Imperial presence either. The Nictriu, who have lived here for generations, do not take to interlopers kindly and have spent years closely guarding the island's secrets. Landfall approaches now. You can all feel the ship has stopped those slow tilting rolls of the open sea, and even through the hull of the boat you hear gulls calling. You are close to port and your destination. For the moment, you're all playing a game of cards and have just enough time for one more hand before you arrive. But this says, place your bets, start with the oldest player and work your way around the table. Give us a character introduction and what you bet on your hand of cards. Most of you have absolutely shit all money, so you can bet things. This is the example it gives you. The right to ask a personal question of another party member, or a silly dare such as introducing yourself as, you say name, the Magnificent for the rest of the day. So do you want to go by character who's the oldest, or person who's the oldest? Like it has ages on your character sheets, does it?
I'm an insect. I can only be like 2 or 3 years old. I'll be dead by then.
Yes, 3 days. 3 days old.
3 days.
I'm the oldest.
Hours.
There aren't any ages on the sheet by default.
Right.
Who's the oldest out of the 3 of us?
I guess that's probably me.
And you can go first. Tell us a bit about your character and what you're going to bet on the game of cards last hand.
Well, I'm going to bear it as in what I have in my hand card-wise, or what I'm going to bet.
No.
I misheard you. Okay, yeah. Very well. Forgive me as I stumble along trying to find a character voice for
That's cool.
Denise Vassafem. I am Denise Vassafem. I am a Valkyrian. I am an avian person. I am a delicate bird person. I hail from New Gradaria. I am the biatch of a troubadour and a sellsword. I have, about my person, apart from obviously my incredibly elegant dress, which is also accompanied by some light armor. I have a dagger, which if we're playing cards, I guess at a table or something like that, you know, I would just have it resting in its sheath, having taken it out from my belt. I am, you'll have to use a lot of imagination for this, amply bosomed, but petite, nevertheless. I'm starting to feel like Dolly Parton.
Please do a Dolly Parton accent.
I will have to do a lot of research for that.
Okay.
I will do my best. I thank you for whatever that comment was. I didn't quite catch it. I have hazel streaked hair. My eye color is a very deep green with eyes, very suggestive, of course, of my heritage as a person who is avian in nature. I am going to bet probably, I think, what do I have in my person I could possibly bet? I mean, I have money, but money's far too vulgar to use in this situation.
No, you can bet things like the right to ask a personal question of another party
I
member,
see.
or a silly dare such as if you win, everyone has to introduce you as Denise Vassafam the Magnificent for the rest of the day.
But
or
that
something
already
like
is my title, darling. I don't know why. I should
Sure.
have to win a bet.
that. Okay, then you can think of something else.
Thank you. Seeing that money is too vulgar, I mean, pens are hard to come by. I think what I would like to wager is to be able to ask a question of that fascinating creature who's playing cards with us, that adamant mantis moth, who intrigues me with his nature. I don't think I've ever met anything like him before. So that's what I would like to wager, please. A question of adamant mantis moth.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Who's next?
I don't know how Craig is. I'll go next.
According to your username, you're older than me.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah. I kind of gave it away, didn't I? So I am Mantis Moth. I am from Australian. I'm Austrian, and I am an insect race. So I'm a range of different insects combined into one. I'm a ranger and a monster hunter. So I'm quite brave and adventurous. What else have I got? I have a bow, of course, because I'm a ranger, but I also have a mighty fine sword, my Kopesh, which is a sickle-shaped sword, which is perfect for slicing the limbs of the monsters. And I wager... What do I want to know? I think I want to know something personal about some of my fellow people.
I feel like I'm
I'm looking
really
at more
involved
than
in your roleplay because I can see your screen. Like I could be able to write on the back of it and put a sticker on it.
all about me. So yeah, I'd like to know something about Mortimer. Something personal.
Ooh, Morty.
I want to know why Mortimer's here. Like,
Ooh.
what's his purpose? Why has he joined the Empress's
All
crusade?
right. Well, if you win, you can ask him.
That's what I ask.
Ask him that.
Oh, I want to win, darling. You'll never win.
Hi, Craig.
I am Mortimer. I'm a mass.
A mess.
There's no way I'm doing that accent.
Oh,
I don't
go
think I can keep
on.
it
Sad.
going. It'll just be. I can only say one word though.
Mass.
Mass.
What else do you need?
What else do you need to know?
He's a mouse person. He's wearing a tricorn hat and a great coat, so looking fairly militaristic. Has a background as an Ashen recruit, so he's likely to be packing a black powder weapon, although he's not been waving it around. He could upset the locals around there, so bit ex-military, bit mousy. Got sort of gold and white hair, because that's the colour of my gerbil, so therefore that's the colour of this one. Black eyes, like a gerbil, I guess. Do mice have black eyes? Are they all black sort of eyes?
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
they
yeah.
do, don't they?
Albino mice, yeah.
They have
Pink
red
ones,
eyes, surely. If
Yeah.
they're albino. I'm not albino. I have pigment.
Yeah.
And I want to know why this fancy bird lady has run away from home and is working this low-paid job when they fancy themselves as a bit of an aristocrat, innit?
Ah, it is.
All he's doing is slumming it here with us.
Yeah, right, Mortimer. Fist bump.
All right. So, like most of pretty much all of the roles in this game, it is a D100 game. So we're and low is good. So give us a D100 and lowest wins the last hand of cards. No way. Did you just roll
Try
a
and get under a
5?
5 on a D100.
Ooh,
I've got
wowzers.
6 queens.
Yeah, 12 aces.
Yeah.
I've got my D100 won't roll. I've had it again.
You click the button and then you've got
Yeah,
to
it's
click
D100
on the...
clicking it.
Yeah, you didn't listen to the second part of the instructions. You click the D100, then you click the up arrow in the middle at the bottom, and then it rolls
Oh
it.
no, mine goes to a black screen saying 1D100 roll action. It says 5. I'm guessing that's what you rolled.
That's mine, yeah.
Yeah. So is it telling me what you rolled? Actions. I'm going to roll 2d10s for this and then add it in a minute.
Right.
Ooh.
Ooh, so that's
9.
0-9, but still not 0-5.
That's not 0-5, no.
I'm so far
That's
away.
not bad though.
I'm not going to win this. How devastating.
0-9.
Why am I here playing
So
this
more-
game?
Yeah, Mortimer, you win the last hand of cards.
Yeah, so I get to ask my question.
You can ask the question.
Denise,
Yes, Denise.
why are you slumming it here with us?
Slumming it?
After you're making out like you're a society lady.
Oh, don't mistake good dress. I mean, for necessarily being of aristocratic stock, but I am from a culture that is advanced, might one say. I mean, you'll probably notice that whilst I do have this great dress, that it's quite in places well worn and used, and you know that my bodice is has seen action. It's grimy. I'm clearly a lady of action. I don't suppose that answers your question. No, you want to know more, don't you? I can see it in your beady eyes.
Bit rude, but yeah.
Rude? Merely a statement of fact, darling. A statement of fact. Why am I here? Well, I, like you, have this missive, and I have my reasons. You've won this game. You won the right to ask the question. I, unless I am otherwise compelled, reserve the right to withhold my answer, other than to say, as a person willing to sell their sword, I am willing to risk things for opportunity here on this island of Illgriffe. Does that satisfy you, mouse man?
Yeah, sure. Although I'm not playing cards with you again. Oh, I lost the bet, but I refuse to reserve the right to not answer. Not very sportsmanlike, is it?
Sportsmanlike? What?
It's a good way to get shot over a card table, not giving up your bet when you lose.
I will just finger the blade in its sheath and pull out the blade to reveal a well-used piece of equipment, a vicious, well-maintained dagger. Silence, or I will end your miserable life before you even get off this boat. How would you like that?
Pull out my parrying dagger and place it against the sword, and also draw the pistol.
I the pistol.
Bring a sword to a gunfight, mate.
How very uncouth of you to bring forth a black powder weapon. I do hope it's not damp, darling, like your fur.
What's fair in love and war, Feathers McGee?
This is going to be
Feathers
such an honourable travels, isn't it?
How is your swimming? Yeah.
Better than my flying.
Well, we could arrange for a bit of both. How do you fancy walking the plank? Hmm?
How do you fancy
come
walking
on,
the plank?
You two, focus. We're here to do a job. We're here to do a job.
I would just,
Racism aside,
I rise above it. I will rise above your tawdry
literally or
baiting.
figurative.
What? I barely understand a word you are saying. Can you not address me in a manner I am accustomed? Valfurian, Simulationist.
Madam Denise.
Yes.
Whatever your name is. Chill the fuck out. Mouse man, so what more to her?
I'll sheathe my weapons and sit back down.
I'll
Right,
slowly place my dagger back into its sheath and then
Let's
pop
focus
it
on the
between
mission.
my bosoms.
We may need to store other stuff there later. It's good to know.
How impertinent!
Knife comes out
I'm
again.
not
Oh,
used-
come on.
He just takes his hard shells. Like, I don't have these fleshy parts. But we need to focus on the mission,
Yes, I agree.
which is. What if you can remember it?
I can read it again if you struggle with your letters.
Well, you know, we don't all speak the same language all the time.
No, clearly. Would you like me
We
to?
are united by our bird speak.
Yes, it is curious you rely on my culture's language to converse in, and you seem so rude.
Well, it's clearly because your culture's lazy and doesn't want to learn other cultures' languages.
Ha ha ha! Shut up. I'm feeling rather ill. Is there no one in this blessed vessel where...
So well to begin with.
Mm.
So this kind of thing has gone on for like the entire week that you guys have been on this boat together.
We're really popular amongst the crew.
Yeah. Like you're playing cards here on your own, and all the rest of the crew are like just playing cards at a different table.
Hang on. Betting them which one will start off.
Yeah. Who's going to kick off first?
Kick off first. Bird, insect, or mouse?
Yeah. Yeah. Mammal, bug, or.
Yeah, mammal, bug, or avian.
Yes. Eventually, I guess you'll get to you feel the ship, like we said, you know, you feel the sea kind of change, and the ship comes into Yvgorod, which is a Vater harbour town. So Vater is like all the oh no, it's Valthuria. Vater are like the Raven people. So the ship docks at the town of Yvgorod, and dock workers begin the bustle of unloading cargo and taking on provisions. Yvgorod is a staging ground for Clan Sanhat, providing supplies for its ships and coordinating movements across 600 miles of the coast of Busos. So that's it. You get off the, assuming you will get off the ship because you've landed where you want to land. Let's have a look at the. You change that to the island. So if you go on the tactical map, you should be able to see that lovely map. And I don't know if you can see, Yvgorod is like here. Can you see where this thing's waving about? Yeah.
I can't see anything waving about, but I
No,
can
I
see
can see where it
Yvgorod.
is.
All right. So if I put a line, you guys not see it?
No.
Oh, okay.
Nothing.
All right. Can't ping it either, can you? Oh, you can. Can you
Ooh, I
see
saw
that
the
if I ping
ping.
it?
Oh,
Oh,
no, I can
all
see the
right.
thing, yeah, I can see
And
the
a
thing.
noise.
Cool. Okay.
Delightful chime.
Oh, that's a good
I
noise.
respond to that.
Mm.
But
Okay.
Pavlovian.
Yeah.
Pavlovian
Responding
charm.
to chimes.
Skinnerian.
Oh, that's a great
But
noise.
yes, point taken.
He now has to eat a mouse.
Yeah. All right. So, what what we'll do to get into it is, as you all arrive at the docks, you look about the docks, you can give me a perception check at +30. That, like, the plus raises your target number, and you have to roll under your target. So if you got a plus, it's like easier. And you want to, so you want to see what your target number is for your perception. So it's in physical skills, halfway down.
So isn't the first number 39? It's the second number.
It's the first number, the one in, it says total.
Yeah.
So you want to roll, so you add +30 to that, whatever that number is, and then that's your target. Okay. And then you want to roll D100 under that, and for every 10, it counts as like, so if your number is like 49 and you roll 29, then you've got 2 levels of success. We got Adamant gets...
I need 69. That's my number.
Okay. So 28, 48, 58. Let's see if it's over success.
Get my calculator.
All right. So yeah, so if you get a success, and then so your 28 is a success, 38, 48, 58, 68, you get 4 over successes, which means you see more stuff.
Not as much as Mortimer.
Yeah, I got 48 under my target.
Oh.
So hang on, your target is what? 48?
My target's 62, and I rolled a 14, so I'm under it by 48.
Okay, so you just go by the multiples of 10.
Okay.
So your 14 is a success, and then it's what? 24, 34, 44. You got 3 extra levels of success. That makes sense,
isn't it?
It's 4. It must be the same as me because I'm 68 and I got 20 something.
Yeah, my target number was 62.
Yeah.
So
okay, 62.
So I'm under it by 48.
So you got 4, didn't you? More was thanks. You just missed it by 2, didn't you? To the 4.
Yeah, so it's multiples of 10 over. Your 14 is your first success. 24 is the next one. 34 is the next one. 44 is the next one.
54
and your target's 54, and then 64. You got 5 over. That makes sense? Don't tell me the 48 because now 14. No, 14's your success.
Right.
It's 14's a success.
That's 1.
No, it's not 1.
And you get 1 for 24, 1 for 34,
1 for 24,
1 for 44,
1 for 54. So yeah, it's 5.
Yeah.
Right, but you don't count the first one. That's just it's a success.
Okay, so it's 4 over.
Yeah.
Just the over successes, which I have none of because I have no interest in looking at things other than my own preening myself.
But did you get a success?
Not
did you
at
succeed?
all. I did not.
Okay.
I required 62.
But then you get... Okay, so you didn't over-fail either.
I didn't over-fail, no.
Okay. It works the same way if you roll way, way, way over, and it's every 10 over the target, so failure. And over failures. That makes sense.
Crew, take this mirror away. We need Denise to focus.
I'm just admiring myself. So... I'm so beautiful. Am I not?
Okay. So Denise sees nothing except other than the mirror.
Me.
And Adamant and Mortimer, you see more than a dozen dock workers crawling all over the ship, unloading cargo from the hold inside. Almost all of the workers are Valthurians, like the Raven folk. What else? You also see you spot this raven woman. So even amongst the hustle and bustle, you see longshoremen following the direction of a Vater in armour and regalia of Clan Sanha at the end of the dock. She stands tall with a light complexion and a patch over her left eye, partially obscuring a scar that runs from her forehead to the bottom of her jaw. At the Vater's elbow is a Wisrian. They are sporting a suit of shimmering scales under priestly robes and covering their visage with a jewel-encrusted metal mask, the uniform of a Nodra Wenger.
Ooh.
You know what that is?
Yeah.
An undead cleric lord.
Ooh.
From a distance, you all can see the Vater is acting respectfully in the discussion with the Wenger, but largely ignoring her. Vater continues to interrupt the Wenger to shout out orders to workers unloading the Sea Crow.
Oh.
So if you want to, let me just put the Wisrian. Share that.
Forgive my interruption.
To everybody.
My interruption.
Yeah.
Am I right in believing we now get some increases for using these actions, or am I mistaken?
You do, yeah.
Oh. Goody.
Well, you don't because you failed it. Oh no, you get one XP.
I get one, don't I? Oh.
Yeah, you get one. So you want to put that in the XP column at the end of by the skill that you got. So in your perception. I think let me just check and make sure of that. So I'm leveling that. Right, so if it was a plus 30, okay. So if it's an insignificant difficulty because you have plus 30, then you get 3 XP. So Adamant and Mortimer get 3 XP each. And do remind me, because every time you do a check, you get some XP, whether you fail it or you pass it. And then once you get the XP up to the same level as the rank, then you get a chance to increase it. And you get 3. Adamant gets 3. I'm just going to fill it in here as well, even though I'll probably forget that after. And cool. Wicked. So let me just see. Okay. So Adamant and Mortimer also see on the other side of the dock, largely hidden from view, is a large Nitriu hawking fish from a small boat. This is mostly notable from the smell. The fish appear to be actively rotting, and the fisherman is having little luck hawking his wares. So he's like sort of hidden away a bit, but you both spot him. And Nitriu is like a raccoon guy. All right. So, what do you want to do?
Wow. Intriguing. I suppose I would finally notice something's going on, and I wrestle my attention away from my beautiful feathery hair, coming down and look over and see all these ravens, and I'm sneering slightly because I find them an inferior form of Valthurian. After all, I have more of a hawk-like plumage. How vulgar. Still, I suppose they serve their purpose.
All right. So, what about Adamant and Mortimer that saw other things going on the docks? Is there anything you want to bring up or approach? Like the Yisra is the raven that's on your letter. Dash, if you move that screen a little bit more over, we won't be able to see you at all. That'll be fine.
Yeah, more to the left, the other way. The other way. Cover up that insectoid visage. It's horrible.
So I think when we see we're coming into dock here, so I don't want to get the crew. Let's I'll be ordering the crew. Come on, prepare to dock. Get to your posts.
Oh, I mean, you've docked. You're off the you get off the ship to the docks.
Oh
That's
yeah,
what
well,
you see all those guys doing things.
Talk to this Raven person.
Okay, so you go straight for Yisra as your sort of
That's our
boss.
contact. Yeah.
Who's on the chat, yeah.
Were they on the boat as well?
No, she's on the docks.
Yeah, but were they on the boat when we were travelling here, or we travelled here and where she is?
No.
Okay, I'll go with her.
Cool.
I'll go with Adamant then to try and get some work.
So they're like, hey, if we are from the Sea Crow, moved to his docks, I'll show her the letter. I believe you have some work for us.
Oh, okay. So you greet her after brief. She has a look at your letters. You can see she's very busy. Let me put a thing up for her. NPCs. There's just a bit of chat. There you go, I'll just put a bit of thing. So she's in the NPCs now, if you wanted to read anything about her. You can see that she looks quite, she's very competent, but she's very busy, do you know what I mean? And she checks your letters. And she says to you that, look, there's been a break-in in the warehouse. She points behind her. There's some big warehouse sort of structure behind her. She says to you, she does a very brief little bit of introduction, but she doesn't. She ain't got time. She's way too busy. She says to you, if you can solve that break-in by nightfall, and you'll prove that you weren't a waste of time for us to hire. That's what she says. You can, you can carry on talking to her. You do see also that there is a Wenya with like a little raccoon kid. And they look like they're waiting to talk to Yisra as well.
Well, I can clearly see you're busy, my dear. We will indeed solve this crime by tonight. Me and my fellow crew members are very adept to this sort of work. Don't you really hoping you can solve crimes?
Yeah, I hope so.
We'll be seeing you by nightfall, I guess. Do you two want to talk to the raccoon baby?
You can see the little kid. The little kid looks like really upset. And this, I'm just looking for what Wenya is in the million origin racism.
I tried to keep up with my notes, but I'm a little bit lost with all the different races and names and creatures.
Yeah.
About 6 different ones on the dock, and I'm like, I can't see any of them in my head.
Yeah.
Terribly poor eyesight, do you not? Poor.
That's great big eyes. Okay, so the Wistrian Wenya, I think, is a. Let me just find the thing for them. Supplement. are. Okay, should all be able to see the NPCs.
Oh, nice.
Oh, so that. Oh yeah, it's not. Here we go. Yeah, I think it'd be better if we had. What'd be really cool if we had some character pictures, because there's pictures of the races, but it's hard for me to not have a visual for the actual characters.
Yes, hard, but we haven't had much chance to get that together. Nevertheless, I'm sure
Here we go.
Manage.
So I might be able to sketch some things up by next time. So Safet Sarat, she stands about 1.6 meters tall. She's stooped over. She's like clearly really old, and you'll be aware of this sort of race already. So she is like undead, but she is covered entirely by this like bejeweled suit of like metal scales. And that's meant to like protect her body from like the elements. So this race, they sort of like, I mean, it's silly to say they can live forever because obviously they're undead, but you know, it's like, remember, death becomes her. They have to look after their bodies because.
So they themselves, they're permanently injured. So if you cut their arm off, it wouldn't grow back.
Yeah, it won't grow back now. She has to like keep. That's why she has this fancy arm. So she is an undead priest, which is a Wendia. And she's like holding the hand of this little raccoon boy. And they approach Yisra the Raven, and the Wendia is saying like. They've obviously been in this pestering Yisra for this conversation, and the Wendia is saying, "The only concern for this urgency are all the objects in your storehouse of more value than your living constituents. Please, for the sake of the child and your people, to investigate the matter." And Yisra is like, "Why should I risk anything for some inept fishmongers who got lost in a storm?" Eyes up the two of them. She's like, not really. She goes to walk away, and then you see Safet, the armoured woman, gives the little raccoon boy a shove, and he's like teary-eyed, and he goes up and he's like a gentle shove, as in to get him to go and talk to Yusra.
Oh, I see. Not harming a child. How vulgar.
No. She's this priest is pushing the kid towards this Raven clan leader to try to like get him to talk to her. And he explains he's really quiet, he's really meek, and he says, "Look, my family they weren't out in the storm. They didn't take their boat out, and they came home before the storm even kicked in." And she's like, Yusra is too busy. She looks at you lot and she says, "Look, you can take all your complaints to them. They're working for me. And leave me alone." Yusra looks at you all and says, "They all work for me. Go and take your complaints to them. I'm too busy."
Ooh.
And she goes on about her dock work.
Might I possibly? I mean, I'm bound to have finally noticed something's going on. All this conversation and chatter and children and that fetid necromantic creature, all these primitives. I'm intrigued, and I will just float over, and I'm all airy because I'm Aryan, I'm very light-boned, fragile perhaps, but I will have replaced my dagger into my doublet, and I imagine for some reason I have quite puffy trousers.
Sure.
Hose, puffy trousers and hose, and as because whilst I am obviously of the feminine persuasion, and these Vassaman does give it away, nevertheless I carry my bearing as a man, and I'm used to manoeuvring in such a way, and with confidence I swagger over, I will just approach in my birdie way. Yeah.
Okay.
You have a complaint? Did I hear correctly?
So, are you approaching the priest and the raccoon kid?
I heard someone
Who's
say
that?
that we were to take the complaints to us, so I would have wandered over to them.
Yes.
I will wander over to them. I will hold my nasal, just maybe if I have a scrap of cloth or a kerchief. I mean, I would love to have a flowery kerchief, but it's sopping because of the miserable journey. Just hold it to my nose somewhat in disgust. What's going on here? And I eye the creature, the child.
Okay, so Safet, who is the priestess, who's like minding the kid, she turns around to look at you, and she has this weird way of looking, like her eyes. You know how like owls don't move their pupils about?
Yeah,
Just turns.
the whole head.
And then locks onto you. Yeah. So
Ah.
she has these green and gold double pupils, which are common to like this race. They lock onto you, and
I smile, simpering.
and you notice that she, because she's undead, she doesn't need to breathe. She just takes in a breath to talk to you. That's all she needs to do, right? So she says to you, so you are in charge of these missing parents now.
Am I? Yeah, well, I suppose I am.
Yeah.
I'm in charge.
Finding
Yes.
Lucian's parents.
Oh, yes,
And the
the
little kid
job. Yes, the task, the mission. Yes, we are. We are to perform such duties, of course.
So Lucian is like still rubbing his eyes. He's a little
Oh, sweet child.
waif of a kid.
I will bend down and, within the confines of one's corset and décolletage and dress and so forth, a little stiff perhaps, and bend down and then maybe just gently place a sort of a slim finger down to beckon to the child and say, "What's upsetting you? What's going on, young sir?"
Put my hands on his shoulder and go, please, maybe turn it back a bit. You look like you're about to eat the child.
Don't eat me, miss.
Of course not. I would never eat an entire child. How ridiculous.
It's absolutely in panic, and he's red-eyed from crying.
Oh, it's poor boy. Here. And I hand him my sopping wet kerchief. There, blow hard, young man, blow hard. That's a good boy, yes. Now tell me all. You can call me Auntie Denise. Yes?
Looking in horror, it's like creepy. This is get more to like, it's normal.
Yeah. He's looking at all of you.
Denise normal.
Come, sweet boy.
He is.
Tell me all.
He is a 9-year-old child.
Right.
And he's small, even for a Nitriu. He stands about just over a metre tall.
Oh, I'm looming over him.
He wears simple linen clothing that looks like it was made for him a couple of years ago with the idea that he would grow into it, but he hasn't grown into it. He looks like the sort of kid that's always got a cold. His eyes and ears are clearly too big for him, and he's got ear tufts that hang down because they're a bit too heavy for him. His like raccoon sort of ears. He says to you that he saw his parents last night.
Oh.
During the storm.
Yes.
They put him to bed under a table out of sight because lightning wakes him up at night. It's like, I don't like it.
Oh, it
And he says, when I
is
woke up,
yeah.
my parents were not at home.
Oh no.
He says, I started calling them, and then Remy Girard heard and took me into town. And then Stafford is looking after me until we find my parents.
I see. A tragic story. A tragic story. You must be so worried. Poor boy. Poor sweet boy. Never
Your handkerchief back.
Oh, so kind. I will discard it. So then, what are we to do with you? What?
So, child, is your parents' boat still in dock?
I say, how terribly rude. I was conversing with this young boy, and you simply barge in?
Well, Denise, we do need to move on and get somewhere.
What do you mean? I'm establishing facts. What have you established so far?
Child's parents have been missing for at least a night. We need to act swiftly and with haste.
Oh, gosh, always with the haste. That's how mistakes are made, for being too hasty, don't you know? Nevertheless, go ahead. Blunder on.
Persuasion. Let's see if there is like a persuasion adjacent way of talking to this kid and getting some info out of him.
Might I use deception?
Sure. If you want to, yeah.
I do want to, yeah.
I'll try and persuade the child. You can deceive them if you want.
Oh, we're going to bicker. You're going to get in the way. I'm going to have to do something about you. Etiquette, boy, etiquette. No. Frightful creature you are. Moth.
I think he eyes up Mortimer because you're the most you're the mammal out of everybody. He's a raccoon, clearly he has a little more familiarity with the mouse than with the bug.
But would it be command because I'm trying to force something out of him, or diplomacy, or streetwise?
It's up to you. Make a case for what skill you want.
I think because I'm a ranger, I think quite authoritative. I'd try and command the child to tell me.
You would try and command him to do something.
Like I'm an adult. You tell me what's wrong, child.
Okay.
Not deceive them.
Oh, really? I mean, that was an over-the-top of the table comment. Don't mix character knowledge with player knowledge, dear boy. I will nevertheless stand back. I'm nothing if not noble in manner, unlike some I could mention. And I will rummage in my bag looking for my makeup kit.